everyone. Welcome to Bottoms Down, Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you've joined us today. Check out the Bottoms Down YouTube channel homepage for easy access to videos about the body area you want to work on, or the amount of time you have for your yoga practice today, or if you want to stay seated or stand more. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. Don't forget it's free. And we'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment. In today's practice, we'll explore poses for self-care. You'll need a chair and a block for today's class. Now, if you don't have a yoga block, you can substitute a large book, or you can just do the class without it. All right, let's get started. So we're going to move forward in our chair, so we're not leaning back. And we're going to take just a moment to connect our feet to the earth. So we think about grounding the feet, equally weighted and feeling like they're connected. And then we're also going to connect our sits bones to the chair. So it's the same idea, right? Equally weighted and feel like you're really stable on that chair. Let's connect to our heart center. Focus your attention in towards the heart. Close the eyes. And just breathe your natural breath. We're going to flip those palms up towards the ceiling. And we're just going to notice our breath as we inhale and exhale. Let's elongate the breath, inhaling a little more deeply and exhaling a little more completely. Do that a couple more times. Bring your hands to your heart. Set your intentions for today's practice. Just one more breath. Bring your hands back down to your thighs and open your eyes. So we're going to just shrug our shoulders up into our ears. So just feel that stretch there, and then we're going to let them fall. And let's do that again. Shrug those shoulders up into the ears and let them fall. One more time. Shrug up into the ears. Let them fall. So we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to have our hands down by our side. You'll just feel a little more stretch. So shrug the shoulders up into the ears, and then we're going to let them fall. Let's do that again. Shrug. Let them fall. One more time. Shrug. And let them fall. Excellent. All right. Good job. Now we're going to let our ear just fall towards our shoulder. So you should be feeling this side of the neck. All right. Now you're going to lift up with this hand and just place it lightly on your head. So you're not going to pull or tug. Just let the weight of the hand give your head, your neck a little more stretch. Now, opposite arm is going to extend out to that wall beside you. Flex through the wrist and push through that palm. One more breath. All right, let's bring the hand down. Take the hand off of the head. Lift that head up. Okay, good. Let's go to the other side now. So we're going to let that ear fall towards the shoulder first. So just feel that stretch. Just whatever feels good, right? Natural range of motion here. Now we're going to reach up with the hand and we're going to place it lightly on that head and just give it a little weight there. Opposite arm extends. Push through the palm of the hand, flexing the wrist. One more breath here. Let's bring the hand down, take the hand off of the head, and lift that head up. All right, very, very good. We're going to move now into a cow pose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to rotate so that the thumbs are towards the back of the room. My shoulders stay down. Squeeze those shoulder blades behind you, and then just kind of lift up a little bit. So I'm looking up a little bit. I'm just a little open throat there, right? So the chin lifts just a little. Squeeze the shoulder blades back behind you. Now I'm going to take my hands and we'll place them on my thighs. Elbows are wide, tuck the chin, round down and look at your belly. And let's do that again. Lifting up, thumbs to the back wall, open up through the throat. Squeeze the shoulder blades behind you, and then round down into cat pose. Okay, let's do that one more or two more times. Let's add the breath. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Last time. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. And release. Let's grab a sip of water. Okay, so if you have a block, we're going to grab that block and we're going to place it in that number 3 position right between our legs. I guess I should say between our feet, really, right? Okay. So this is going to be a forward fold using the blocks. Now, we've got our feet a little bit wider than a natural, like if you were just to sit down, your feet might be a little bit closer together. So it's sort of wide-legged, okay? Now, I'm going to pull my belly in and I'm going to begin to hinge right at the hips and I'm going to put my forearms on my thighs. Palms are facing up. Let your heart fall a little bit further forward. See how that feels. All right, one more breath here. Now, we're just going to pull our belly in, tuck our chin, and roll up into a seated position, okay? So we're going to do that exact same thing again. So lengthen nice and long through the spine, hinge right at the hips, keep the back flat, forearms are on the thighs, let the heart fall forward. So I personally feel a nice stretch into my back. Keep that belly tight to protect that back. So there's a little bit of stretching happening here. Keep the back flat, right? Nice long spine. One more breath, and we're going to tuck our chin and we're going to roll it up. Okay, so now that's a great version. And if you want to stick right there, that's fine. But if you're with me, what we're going to do is we're going to let our heart come a little bit further forward and we'll place our hands on a block. If you don't have a block, instead of being here, you're just going to walk your hands down your legs. Okay? So you'll be kind of holding onto your legs to give you the same support that we're going to be using for those of us that have the block. Okay? So nice and long through the spine, right? Think about crown of the head to the ceiling. Belly is tight. Begin to let that heart fall forward. Keep the back flat. Now, we're going to reach down and we're going to place our hands on that block. And we're going to let our heart fall a little bit further. Or your hands are on your legs, okay? So let that heart fall just a little bit further. Does that feel pretty good? Should feel. It's nice supported, right? It's a nice supported forward fold. Okay, let's tuck our chin and roll it up. All right. So now if you want the next version, we're going to, instead of that block being in that number 3 position, it's going to come to that number 2 position. So you see it's going to be a little bit closer to the floor, isn't it? Okay, are we ready? Lengthen nice and long through the spine. Pull that belly in. Hinge forward. If you want to start here, I kind of like starting with my hands, my forearms on the thighs, and then work my way down to the block. That's the way I like to do it. Keeping the back flat, we're looking forward. Feeling the stretch. One more breath. All right, ready? Tuck the chin, roll it up, and come to seated. You know where we're headed, don't you? Let's turn that block now to the number 1 position. Okay, are we ready? Lengthen nice and long through the spine. Pull the belly in. Hinge forward. Keep the back flat. And here we go. All the way down to that number 1 position. Keeping that back flat. I'm looking out, not down, right? Stretching through that spine. Should feel a good stretch. Just one more breath here. All right, tuck the chin and roll it up. Okay, you can keep doing those versions, but you want to try the last one. We're going to slide our block under our chair, and we're going to go hands on the floor. You don't have to, right? Lengthen through the spine. Begin to let that heart fall forward. Hands on those thighs or arms on the thighs. Now, are we ready? We're going to go all the way down. There we are. A seated forward fold. Now, if you feel okay and your back, first of all, your back feels good, you don't have high blood pressure, if you want to, you're going to let your head fall and you're going to tuck your chin and look under your chair. So now we're in an inversion, and you don't want to do this if you've got any issues with blood pressure, or if it just doesn't feel good. If it makes you dizzy, don't do it. All right, listen to my voice. If you're feeling okay and you want that final piece, we're going to take our hands off of the floor. We're going to grab our elbows and we're going to hang out in a rag doll. So your head is just hanging down towards the floor. You're looking under your chair. Because you're holding on to your elbows instead of having your hands on the floor, you've got just a little bit more stretch into that low back. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Drop your hands to the floor. Pull that belly button in as tight as you can. Tuck the chin and roll yourself back up into a seated position. How did that feel? I love that. I think that feels so good. Okay, so the next pose is Garland pose. We're going to move forward in our chair. And we're going to take those legs nice and wide. So if you want to do the heel toe, that's a great way to get there. So nice and wide legs. Okay. So now I'm really warm, right? We've been working on that low back. I'm going to let my heart fall forward. And I'm going to place the inner part of this arm, the outer part of this arm on the inner part of that leg. And then the other side, okay? Palms are going to be together. So I'm pressing my legs in and I'm pressing my arms out. So Garland pose, Malasana. Pressing, pushing, one more breath. Let's go ahead and release that. And we're going to do that one more time. I've got an itch on my nose. I'm sorry about that. All right, here we go. Lengthen through the spine. Begin to let that heart fall forward. We're going to place the arm on the inner thigh. Now press those thighs together. Do you feel that? It's a little isometric stretch here. One more breath. Go ahead and release that. Hands on those thighs and roll up and then bring those knees together. Take just a moment here. Okay. Right? Feeling okay? So now what we're going to do is, it's called shoulder dips. And we're going to do a heel toe again for those feet to be a little bit wide. Now my hands are going to stay on my thighs, okay? What I want you to do is drop this right shoulder down between your legs. So it's a nice stretch. You should feel a shoulder stretch. I also feel it between my shoulder blades. I don't know about you. And we're going to lift up. And let's do the other side. Shoulder dips. And up. Let's do that again. We're going to let that shoulder fall down. And we're going to lift that shoulder up. And then we're going to let the other side. Shoulder dips down. And we're going to lift that shoulder up. And we're going to heel toe those feet back together. Good. We're going to move into seated lunges. And I'm going to use my block. Again, if you don't have it, it's fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my block on the floor, and then I'm going to extend my leg, and I want to make sure that my heel is going to touch the block. Now, if you don't have a block, all that's going to happen is your heel is just going to be on the floor, and it's fine. So if you're with me, and actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to place it between so that I can put both of my, one heel or the other, depending on which side we're doing, and I don't have to worry about moving my block back and forth. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to take this right knee and I'm going to bring it into my chest. So I'm hugging my knee into my chest. Think about lengthening nice and long through the crown of the head, right? So that should feel good just right there. Now, I want you to flex the foot, and you're going to grab under your thigh. I want you to push through that heel. You're lengthening that leg nice and long. Then you're going to place that heel on the block or on the mat. I'm going to have to move my block a little bit. I think I stretched right there. Okay? So now my heel is just resting on that block. I'm going to lengthen through the spine. And I'm going to begin to let my heart fall forward just a little bit. It doesn't have to fall forward. Doesn't matter, right? Little hamstring stretch. Okay, let's come up. We're going to do the same side again. Let's do it. Bring it in. Squeeze. Lengthen through that spine. Crown of the head to the ceiling. It should feel really good. Flex. Now hold under your thigh. Press through the heel. Put that heel on the floor or on the block. We're going to lengthen. And we're going to hinge forward. Hold on to those thighs. Give yourself a little support there. It's fine. Feel that? All right. Tuck the chin. One more time, just like that. Same side. Bring it in. Squeeze. Flex. Push through the heel. Let that leg fall down. Extend and hinge. Ah, man, that feels good. And up we go. Okay, let's bend that knee and put that foot on the floor. Okay, let's do the other side. We got one little add-on to this before we move to something else. It's the same idea, but a little bit different. We're going to flex. Now we're going to push through the heel. Hold on to that thigh. We're going to let that foot come down onto the block or onto the floor. Lengthen, hinge forward. Tuck the chin and roll it up. Let's do that again. Bring that knee in, squeeze it. Lengthen through that spine, nice and long. Flex, push, heel down, lengthen, and hinge. We've got one more like this. Here we go. Roll it up. Bring that knee in, squeeze. Flex. Hold under the thigh as you push. Heel down, lengthen, and hinge forward. Oh, that should feel really, 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 really good. One more breath. All right, let's roll it up and bend that knee and put that foot on the floor. Okay. So now what we're going to do is just a little external rotation. And so you're going to bring that knee in. And then what I'm going to do is with this hand, this left hand, I want to reach underneath that ankle. All right. And then I'm just gently going to externally rotate. So this is not, anything significant. It's just a gentle twist. Now I want you to flex the foot. So again, you're going to hold on. It's fine. Extend through that foot, and then we're going to put that heel on the floor or the block. And then we're going to bring that knee up, or those toes up. Now, if you want a little bit more, I know this is more of a feel-good class, but if you want to work just a little bit harder, what you're going to do is as you bring that knee in and externally rotate, instead of holding under the thigh, you're going to make your abdominals and your quadricep do the work. So hands are just down by the side. And then you're going to externally rotate, maintain that external rotation as you push through that heel. And then you're going to put that foot on the floor or the block. Bring the toes up. Let's do that again. Bring it in. Squeeze. Do you feel the difference whether you hold the thigh or not? I would say whichever one feels good for you, do it. Flex. I'm going to hold. Extend. Push. Put that heel down. toes to the ceiling. Last time, bring it in, squeeze. Lengthen through that spine. Externally rotate. Flex your foot. Press through, hold or don't. Put that heel down. Let the toes come up and release. Okay, take just a moment. And we're going to do the other side. We got this. All right, are we ready? Bring it in, squeeze. Lengthen through that spine. Bring that knee in. Okay, so now remember, your right hand is going to reach under that ankle, and then you're just gently, super gently pressing. Okay, feel that external rotation. Flex the foot. Okay, now push through the heel, hold or don't, your choice. But I want you to maintain that external rotation. See how my toes are going out? Now put that heel on the block or on the floor and then bring those toes up. Okay, let's do that again. Bring it in, squeeze. Lengthen through the spine, nice and long. Externally rotate. Flex. Push. Foot on the floor. Toes to the ceiling. Again, bring it in, squeeze. Externally rotate. Flex. Push through the heel. Foot on the block or the floor. Toes to the ceiling. Last time, bring it in, squeeze. Externally rotate. Flex. Push through that heel. Put that heel on the floor. Toes to the ceiling. Bend the knee and put that foot on the floor. Let's grab our block and store it back under our chair out of our way. And grab a sip of water. We're going to come to standing on the right side of our chair. And you're going to hold on to that chair and we're going to bring that right knee up. So we're going to do some knee circles. So you're going to hold on to this leg and you're going to bring that leg out and down and up. Okay? Out and down and up. Let's do that again. Out, down, and up. One more. And then we're going to reverse that. So just a down, out, and up. So it just should feel good. It's just a nice, gentle rotation into that hip joint. One more. Okay, let's put that foot down and then we'll go to the other side. Okay, so we're going to come up, out, down, up, out, down, up, out, down. One more. Good. And then let's reverse it. So we're going out first and then up and down. Again, that was my hip cracking if you heard that. Okay, one more. Excellent work. Okay, so you're going to come behind your chair. Now, I'm going to just step out so you can see me a little bit better, but you're going to be right behind your chair and you've got that for support, okay? So I'm just going to come out a little bit so you can see me better. So we're going to put our weight into the right leg and the left ankle is going to cross right at that ankle. All right, now you're going to shoot your hips back. So I'm bending this supporting knee and I'm shooting my hips back as I bend forward. Okay, you see kind of what I'm doing there? Good. All right, one more breath. And then we're going to come up and then we're going to go to the other side. Okay, so now I'm going to cross the opposite ankle on top, bending the supporting knee. Push the hips back. See what I'm doing there? I'm pushing those hips back. Can you see that? Whoops, don't fall. Push those hips back and begin to let the heart fall forward. So you kind of see what's happening here. All right. Good. And then up we go. Okay. So now that's a great version. And if you want to stick with that version, you can stick with that version. What I'm going to do is I'm going to begin to let my hands fall down the chair a little bit, right? So I'm shooting my hips back and I'm letting my hands come down that chair just a little bit. There is additional stretch. You should be feeling it right here. Okay? Do you feel that? One more breath, and then we're going to come up and we're going to switch to the other side. Okay? So again, just kind of let your hands, you're behind the chair, so you're just letting your hands walk down the back of that chair as you shoot your hips back further and further and sink down into that pigeon. One more breath. Okay, let's all come up and release. Now, and keep doing that version. If you want the next version, instead of crossing ankle to ankle, we're going to bring that ankle up above the knee, okay? So you'll want to bend that standing knee a little bit to give yourself a place for that ankle to sit, okay? Same idea, shoot your hips back. And then as you begin to shoot your hips back, you're going to let your upper body begin to sink down. Okay, do you see that? And just whatever feels good for you. If it feels okay to let yourself, your hands walk down the back of the chair, then do so. If it's better for you to just be right up here, that's fine too. If it's better for you to be crossing at ankles, that's okay. So kind of pick the version that you like. Okay, and then we're going to come up and we're going to go to the other side. Hang on, I got a hair that's tickling my arm. Here we go. All right, let's cross the other side. So now the other ankle is on top. Push your hips back and kind of let yourself walk down the back of that chair. You can come to the side of the chair with me if it feels better for you, right? That's absolutely fine. Okay, we're just hanging out here. We're breathing. So I'm going to tell you one thing. I have already taught 3 classes this morning. I am really open. My hips are really open. So don't think I can always do this. It just so happens that I'm pretty open right now. One more breath and up we go. Okay, so now I want you to think about grabbing your block. And, if you want to be behind the chair, that's fine. That block's just going to be sitting behind the chair. I'm just coming to the side so you can see me. All I'm doing is I'm giving myself the opportunity to bring my hands a little closer to the mat, all right, or to the floor. So let's go back to the other side, cross ankle to ankle or ankle to knee, your version, right? Shoot your hips back. Walk your hands down the back of that chair. Maybe they're to the seat, or maybe you have that block there and your hands are on that block. How does that feel? We're breathing here. We're trying to release into those hips just a little bit. Should feel good. One more breath. All right, go ahead and come up slowly. Whew, unravel. This is it. This is the last one, I promise. So go ahead and cross your version. Remember, ankle to ankle is fine, or ankle to knee. Bend that supporting knee. Shoot those hips back. Begin to let the heart fall. Maybe the hands go to that block. Maybe they don't. Maybe they do on one side, but they don't on the other. That's also very common. One more breath here. Okay, go ahead and come up slowly. Unravel and release. How you feel about that one? That's good. Okay, so now we're back behind our chair again. And we're going to do a heel and a toe and a heel and a toe. So my feet are at a diagonal and my knees are going to come over those toes into goddess pose. So, this is as deep as you want it to go. I would like for you to try to bend those knees some and try to deepen into that goddess pose if that feels okay. All right, if it feels all right, we're going to let go of the chair and we're going to bring our left hand to our belly and our right hand to our heart. I think I'm opposite. It doesn't matter. One hand to heart, one hand to belly. Doesn't matter. One more breath here. All right, hold on to the chair, straighten the legs. Take just a moment. Now we're going to do that again, and then we're going to place the other hand so it's the opposite, right? So whichever hand you had, just switch it up. Doesn't matter. All right, are we ready? Let's first of all come down into those goddess legs. So knees are tracking right over those toes. See, can you get any deeper, right? Okay, now switch which hand is on the heart and which hand's on the belly. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. One more. Inhale and exhale. Bring your hands to the chair. Go ahead and come up and let's bring those feet together. Take just a little break. We're going to do that just one more time, okay? All right, so here we go. Just do a heel and a toe and a heel and a toe. So now knees are tracking right at those toes. I want to bend my knees and come into that goddess leg. So notice that those knees need to be behind the toes and the knees need to stay open. So if you're feeling like your knees are trying to close in, just bring your feet together a little bit more so that those knees can stay open, okay? Now, if it doesn't feel good for you to let go of the chair, you're just going to hold the chair. But if it's okay with you, you're going to deepen that squat and bring the hands to your belly and the other hand to your heart. Feel it and breathe. One more breath. See if you can stay in the squat. Switch which hand is on the belly, which hand's on the heart. Breathe in. One more. In and out. Hands on the chair. Straighten those legs. Oh, right. Heel toe back together. That's excellent work. Very, very good. Now, we're going to stay behind our chair, and this is thread the needle. But I want you to take a couple of steps back so that your arms are really long. So my fingertips are touching, but my arms are nice and long. Pull that belly in, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to rotate up towards the ceiling. Then I'm going to take that hand and I'm going to bring it underneath the extended arm and I'm going to rotate through. So it's kind of like stacking the ribs the other way. Now I'm going to bring that hand up. So now I've got my ribs are stacking, hand to the ceiling. Now my hand's going to swing through, palm is facing up. And now my ribs are stacking the other way. And let's do that one more time. Up we go. Bring it through. One more breath here. Bring that hand to the chair and take a break. Did you feel that? Woo, that was quite a bit of work right through those oblique muscles. And a nice little stretch. Okay, we're going to do that on the other side. So here we go. Hands are on that chair. Now we're going to do the other side. So we're going to come up first. And then we're going to bring that hand through. And lift it up. There you go. Good. Let's do that again. Open that up. Up it goes to the ceiling. I'm looking up. Bring it through and twist. One more. Open it up. Bring it through. Twist. And release. Very, very good. Okay. So now we're going to move into a triangle pose, a standing triangle, and we're going to use our block. So let's start just having our block in the seat of the chair. And again, don't worry if you don't have a block. So we're going to face the right side of our chair. The leg next to the back of the chair goes under, that foot goes under the chair. Bring that opposite foot back, 45-degree angle, hips are forward, okay? Let's bend that front knee first and come into a warrior one. All right, so here we are in that beautiful warrior one. Our abdominals are super tight. Now we're going to windmill around to a warrior two facing me, okay? Good. Now, we're going to straighten this front leg. And we're going to bring the upper body like over the chair. We're going to bring it over the chair. And over the chair, now you're going to place that hand on the block in the chair. And if you don't have a block, then it's just going to be in the seat of the chair. Okay? Either is fine. All is good. So we're trying to straighten, keep this leg straight, try to relax this glute, open it up nice and open into our triangle pose. We have one more breath. Bend the front knee, press up into warrior two, and release. Okay, very good. So let's go to the other side and then we'll add on. So let's go to the other side first. Put your foot under the chair, opposite foot steps back, 45-degree angle for that foot. Bring the hips forward, bend the front knee, okay? Okay, so hands to heart. Let's come up to warrior one. Belly tight, shoulders down out of the ears. Let's move to that warrior two. Now we're going to straighten this front leg. The upper body is going to come over that chair. So notice how my upper body is separate from my lower body, right? Upper body over the chair. And then just try one more time, just as much as it'll go. Then place that hand down. Maybe it sits on that block. Open up through that chest. Are you feeling that inner thigh stretch? I am. One more breath. All right, bend the front knee, back to warrior two, and step out of it. Okay, so now if you want a little bit more, what we're going to do is we're going to place that block down on the floor in that number one position. So you can see already, my hands now is going to go from here to here. So it's going to be quite a bit more stretch on that inner thigh. So just pick what, if that doesn't work for you, don't do it. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to face our chair. Our foot is under this chair, step back. Hips are forward, bend the front knee. Okay, hands to heart. All right, are we ready? We're going to take a deep breath in. On an exhale, our fingertips are going to go to the ceiling. Now, we're going to twist around to that warrior two. We're going to straighten our front leg. Upper body comes over the chair. Over the chair. Over the chair. Now, instead of the hand going into the chair, it's going to reach down and grab that block. Make sure that heart stays open so we're not letting ourselves collapse. We're lifting up. How's that feel? Okay, so bend the knee, grab the block in your hand, and now we're going to move it to the outside of that foot. Ha! Straighten that leg. Now we're in triangle pose with the block on the outside of that leg. How's that feel? Pretty intense, right? Chest is open. One more breath. Bend the knee. Press up into that warrior two. And release. Is that too much? Don't do it if it's too much. We have to do the other side though. Here we go. So you want that block on the inside of that foot to begin with. Step it back. Hips are forward. Hands at heart. All right, bend that front knee. Are we ready? Inhale here. Exhale, hands to the ceiling. There's our beautiful warrior one. Ha! Let's move to that warrior two. Now we're going to straighten that leg. Upper body over the chair. Upper body over the chair. It just won't go any further. Then we're going to let that hand come down, maybe to the chair or maybe to the block. How does that feel? I know, it's pretty intense, isn't it? So try to relax this back, this glute over here. Try to keep that chest open. Do you want to try moving the block to the outer edge of that foot instead of the inside of that foot? You feel even more stretch here? I do. Oh, one more breath. All right, bend that front knee. Press up into warrior two. And release. That was so good, you guys. That was so good. Let's have a seat. And grab a sip of water. We're going to heel toe our feet just a little bit wide here. And then let your knees fall together. So whatever, however wide those feet feel good to you so that you can bring those knees together. Bring those arms out, palms facing forward. Right arm on top. We're going to cross over and hug ourselves. Let your head fall. And you're just kind of looking down at your arms, down at your lap. Make sure you're not holding the head up. Just let the head fall. One more breath. Okay, lift the heart up. Open up those arms. Take the knees wide. Now, we're going to bring those knees together. The other arm is going to be on top. Hug yourself. Let the head fall. Tuck the chin, looking down. Don't hold your head up. One more breath here. Lift up. Release. Bring the knees out. And then heel toe those feet back together. How'd that feel? I like that one too. So we're going to grab our block. Don't worry if you don't have a block, it's fine. And we're going to place it between our feet. So I've got it in the number 2 position on its end. Okay, so up on its end and wide. Great. Place your hands behind your head, elbows are wide, and squeeze your shoulder blades back behind you. Think about having those feet grounded to the earth. Okay, so remember how we did that at the beginning? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to bring those elbows forward, pull the belly in, and then I want you to release the hands and put the forearms on the thighs, but the palms are facing down. So you kind of, it's a seated child's pose. So we just have one more breath here. Now we're going to lift up. We're going to bring those hands back behind. We're going to do that one more time. Squeeze your shoulder blades back behind. Elbows are nice and wide. Feet are on the earth. Pull the belly in. We're going to release into that seated child's pose. My arms are resting on my thighs. Palms are facing down. Let yourself just hang out here. Head is falling. It's a rest position. One more breath, and up we go. Okay. So if it feels okay, you can keep doing that version. But if it feels okay, instead of coming down here, we're going to bring our hands to the block, and we're going to let ourselves hang out in between our legs. So you're kind of your belly is going to be hanging out between your legs and your hands are on the block. And or you can still have the arms on the thighs. Hands behind the head, elbows wide, squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. Release into that seated child's pose. Maybe the hands come to the block. Let the head fall. One more breath. Pull the belly in. Come back up. Hands behind the head. Elbows wide. Squeeze the shoulder blades. This is our last one. Here we go. Hinge forward. Placing those hands on the block if that feels okay. Child's pose. One more breath. And we're going to roll that up into a seated position. Very good. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab that block in that left hand, okay? Arms are at goalpost arms. Now my feet are on the floor, my belly is tight. I'm going to bring the block across and I'm going to grab it with my other hand and then I'm going to open. Okay? Now I'm going to bring the block across, I'm going to grab it with that opposite hand and then I'm going to open. Block comes across, we're going to grab it with that hand and we're going to open. Hand with the block comes across, grab it with that other hand, open. Let's do it one more time on each side. We've got this. So a little twisting action right at the ribs, right? You feel it? And the other side. Grab that block and open. Very, very good. Okay, release. I'm just going to set my block under my chair, get it out of my way. We're going to take our right knee and we're going to open it up and we're going to let that left knee fall down towards the floor. Push that foot back, crescent lunge. Open up your arms and you're going to cross one arm on top of the other and give yourself a hug in your crescent lunge. Release the knee, open the arms up, and then we're going to hug ourselves with the opposite arm on top, pressing that kneecap up towards the ceiling, the back of the kneecap up towards the ceiling. Open it up, release that knee, hand comes down, and let's face forward. Now this leg, we're going to cross on top of the opposite leg for a little seated pigeon. Okay, so just hang out here for a moment. So a little stretch into that hip and glute. If you want a little more, lengthen through the spine and let the heart fall forward. You don't have to, right? You may not need any more. I know, right? Such a great stretch, though. And up we go. Okay, let's release that. Now we're going to take this knee and we're going to open it up. Let the opposite leg fall down. Push the foot back, lift the heart. Open up. Cross one arm on top, doesn't matter which one. Hug yourself. Open it up, let that knee fall down. Now we're going to cross with the opposite arm on top. Press the back of the kneecap to the ceiling. Hug yourself. Open back up. Bring the hands down. Face forward. We're going to cross that ankle on top of that knee. We're going to hang out here for just a couple of breaths. Okay, if you want a little more, you're going to lengthen and then hinge forward. One more breath. All right, up we go. Sit back in your chair. Place your hands lightly on your thighs. Flip your palms up to the ceiling, Shavasana pose. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a full, complete, cleansing breath out.
Move on into action. Intention is necessary, but not sufficient. Do the good things you intend to do, preferably sooner rather than later. Planning is helpful, but it's just the beginning. For the planning to pay off, you must execute the plan. Don't fall into the idea that preparation can be a substitute for action. Yes, do the preparation and then do the rest of the work. Is thinking about it getting in the way of doing it? Then the time has come for you to go beyond mere thinking and move on into action. It's great that your intention is purposeful and well thought out. Now cash in on the value of what you intend to do by acting on it. You can't demonstrate your commitment just by thinking or talking about it. Move on into action and reap the many benefits that come from following your purpose.
Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder. Reach up with the right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with your hands. Give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Let your left ear fall towards your left shoulder. Reach up with the left hand. Give the head a gentle tug, pressing that right hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment, and I will see you next time.